So hello guys, hello everyone. So welcome again. So now we are going to see the second round, the second match of the quarterfinals in World Team Championship, जहाँ हमारी इंडियन टीम इजराइल में फ्रांस के अगेंस्ट खेलने वाली है. And in the first round, we had an emphatic performance. Padmini, we beat
Yeah.
France 3-1. And joining me, of course, is I am Padmini Roth. So Padmini, what are your predictions and what do you hope to see in this round?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So France will be going all out in this match and they really have to win. So we will see very aggressive play from the France team. And we definitely have an advantage because we have won the previous game. And with it has white and also uh, in the game between SL has white against Fresinet. So I think it's going to be like a very interesting match.
Yeah, definitely. I was really impressed, especially with the players who had the black pieces. All like SL and Vidit, both of them, they delivered when it mattered. So yeah, great stuff. It was overall a great team performance, but yeah, we have to be, there is still a lot of work to be done, and let's see how our guys do. So Vidit
Yeah.
is white against MVL now, Padmini, and he has won the first game. So definitely the momentum is with him. Plus he has the white pieces.
Yes.
So do you think he'll be more aggressive in his approach, or he'll be like, okay, अभी solid खेलूंगा और देखते हैं क्या होता है?
No, I think Vidit in general is a very solid player. So I think he will play to his strengths and he will not try to do something out of the way because he also has the white pieces. So he can play, like he would do in a normal game. And we will see on the other board, on the other hand, MVL from black side will have to try, I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. MVL will be looking to strike back, and also an interesting point, Uzbekistan team, they won the last round. And
Yeah.
Padmini, whom will they? So the Uzbekistan team played against
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Sorry, my bad. See, Uzbekistan team won against Ukraine, and they are playing the
Yeah.
second round. So they are the favorites going into the second round. And
Yeah.
considering India and Uzbeks both are favorites for this round, having the momentum, we
Yeah.
might face Uzbekistan again in the semifinals.
Yeah. So
So
whoever wins in their match, we will be facing them in the semifinals, and we also have to at least maintain our lead with a draw in this match to qualify to the next semifinal matches.
yeah, we just need 2 points from this game. And
Yes.
yeah, so what are the matchups, Padmini? Like what matchups are you most looking forward to again?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Vidit MVL, and the matches are beginning right away as we are talking.
Ooh.
And yeah, Vidit MVL, and then also Nihal is playing black. So all these are going to be really interesting matches.
Yeah, definitely. And Vidit has played one D4. So
Yeah.
let's see what he has in mind. MVL, as we know, is a lifetime hardcore Grunfeld player. So
Yeah.
let's see.
So do you think it will be a grunt build?
I think so. But you see, Vidit is not. Oh, Vidit is going for a sideline. He played the B3 move after
Yeah.
G6.
And
So
Abhi, you also play the grunt build, yeah?
yeah. And
So it
actually,
is, yeah, it is like we are all grunt build players. But so I think it's a good strategy, not allowing any known going in because Grenfell players they will generally know their theory, and B3 is a good strategy. Yeah,
yeah, it's a good strategy, interesting strategy for sure. Maybe Vidit is looking for a fresh position, so that yeah, he just wants to play a fresh position and get a position very quickly.
yeah,
So maybe he MVL is very comfortable in Grunfeld, so it's difficult to catch him there. So this strategy is also definitely a valid one. So you want
yeah,
to,
and yeah, and
uh,
with it doesn't have to go into any particular theory. He can just play, very normal in a normal way because Black has to try, and with
yeah,
it can just play calmly and make logical developing moves. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go to another game. Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, let's see Nihal's game. Nihal is playing against Jules Moser. Nihal is black, and Nihal has opted for the Marshall with black. So, let me just quickly show the opening. This is the Spanish, very classical, very old opening, very well analyzed opening, the very interesting one. So, this is normal Spanish, and here castles move. This is a very interesting way to play because after c3, which white wants to do, black's idea is to play d5 and in fact sacrifice this e5 pawn for initiative.
An aggressive setup. Yeah.
Yeah, it is an aggressive setup. So, but Jules, he didn't go for this. He played the anti-martial, which is h3, and not play allowing this d5 stuff. So, uh, Nihal played bishop b7, d3. Uh, so, what do you
So
think about Marshall in general, Padmini?
I have never played Marshall myself, but I have always been very fascinated by it. And playing from the white side, it is always very difficult, also. So I think this game will be an inspiration to start playing Marshall for me. We'll see how Nihal, plays this opening and how he approaches the anti-Marshall variation.
Padmini, we saw this Marshall opening happening
Yeah.
a lot last year in the Carlsen versus Nepomniachtchi World
Yeah.
Championship match, and
Yes.
especially anti-Marshall. So it is known as one of the most solid openings actually nowadays, and Magnus has certainly increased the reputation of Marshall. So Nihal is
He is
perhaps
giving
taking
the
a very
stamp.
solid approach. Yes.
Yeah, so Nihal is thinking now, and he is planning his next setups. Yeah, like d6 or maybe h6. Do they play, or rook e8, something like that?
Yeah, d6 is a move. H6 is a possible move. Uh, there are lots of ways. I guess d6 is the one which is the most logical. So
Yeah,
let's see what it does. But this bishop b7 idea, I feel like sometimes you even after h3, d3, this setup, you have d5 ideas here, and again sacrificing this pawn. It might seem you're giving a pawn, but what you get in return is a lot of initiative for black. As you can see, white's pieces are just not very well developed here.
so
So
white is getting a pawn, but black is getting a lot of development for it.
yeah, and some initiative for it. So it is certainly a very interesting opening choice by Nihal. And he does
A
go
lot
for
of
d5.
and a lot of compensation. Yeah, so it is white tried to do an anti-martial, but black anyway got his d5.
Yeah, Nihal doesn't care, apparently.
Yeah. So, Chad, what's your prediction for this match? What's your prediction of the score? What's your prediction, Abhimanyu?
I feel that we can still win one, 2.5, 1.5. I feel that the momentum is with us, but our players, as I can see, even Nihal is choosing Marshall, which is known as one of the most solid setups. Vidit is playing a solid setup with White himself. Maybe our players have decided that we'll have a very solid approach for this game. We just need 2-2. Let's just play it solid and slow and try to make draw on all four boards.
Yeah,
So
I can see also MVL is looking at other boards and keeping an eye on his teammates. So let's go over
wow.
to MVL's game and see what move he has played, because with it I can see is thinking and MVL is looking uh, like on the other side, other way.
Wow. So MBL has decided to fiancate to his other bishop as well, the C8 bishop. And yeah, it's certainly a way to play this opening. So now White for now has this very good looking center here, but
Yeah.
he's not as well developed. So you want to make moves like bishop e2, short castles. And meanwhile, Black will want to develop himself, maybe play some e6, d5, and, get his pieces, try to challenge for the center. So with it plays knight c3, a very natural developing move. And, I
Yeah.
somehow feel that this is a very, what to say? it seems like a very slow position, and suddenly
Mhm.
like you'll make a couple of moves and it can just something might happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think white is better because white has got the center here?
uh does have the center, but because it's not as well developed, you still have to make two moves to castle your king. Black has a couple of moves in his hand, so I feel like this is still dynamically balanced. So uh, I would evaluate it as around even, or maybe between even and slightly better for white. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I also think it's around even now because white will develop, and in the meantime, black will also try to get some control over the center with e6 and d5. Uh, so let's go over to Nihal's game because I see the French team keeping an eye on the other boards, and the Indian team is very focused on their own games.
Oh, wow. So I guess Musad is still thinking after d5. Probably didn't expect Nihal to go for this. And
Uh, I, I think there is a update.
oh,
ED5, knight d5. Yeah.
he played knight b d2 and queen d7, a4.
So black is insisting white to take the pawn on e5 with queen d7, but white
Yeah,
is still not capturing.
black दे रहा है और white ले नहीं रहा.
हाँ. What happens for knight e5? क्या हो रहा है exactly? Like why did he go a4?
I think the idea in those positions is if you play knight e5, rook e5, you can kick this rook away sometimes with bishop f6, or you can even sometimes play c5. And the thing is, it might seem like you're down just a pawn, but it's not easy for white to coordinate his pieces well. Whereas
Yeah.
black can quickly get his rook to, let's say, e8, and just you'll get this e open file at some point, as this rook will get exchanged for the black rook, and it you get a lot of compensation for pawn. White is supposed to be always slightly better in such position, a very slightly better since his upper pawn, but
Yeah. So a4, f6 there was an update,
yeah,
and
so
now black is not giving the pawn anymore.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So let's go over to SL's game. I
yeah.
think this is also interesting game, and SL has been doing really well in this tournament, and we will see how this game goes.
He has been doing fantastically.
Yes.
So e4. So again, Italian again. So a very topical opening, and an f6. So here SL didn't go for this NG line, which is supposed to be a very sharp and interesting line and interesting try. The point is here ED knight a5. This is no this is known
Some
to be
long
a very
play.
sharp line and a very interesting try. But
Yeah.
SL instead opting for d3, perhaps because of the match situation, you want to go for a more solid choice.
Yeah. And SL is one of the players on whom the team can actually rely, and he has been giving the points, and it will be a great game to watch because SL also has white pieces.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so he's been just a rock for the team, and he has also actually scored quite a few wins. So overall, great stuff by him. But a4, d6, a5. So white wants to expand on the queen side, which is quite an interesting idea in Italian. You want to play move like c3, b4 here, and push over on the
Mhm.
queen side. But what do you think is the way black should play? I think a6 is a very natural move here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to stop white's a6 plan.
yeah, and SL has played a6. White
So
played
press it.
castles. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Presinep, SL played castles, bishop a7, c3. And
Mm.
yeah, so SL
Nice.
is going for this queenside expansion. So what do you think his approach is towards this game?
I think our team must have had discussed some strategy also, and they are probably uh, they're they're trying to play very objectively. So white is, you know, developing the pieces, and depending on the position, they will take the decisions, and they won't go extremely aggressive, but also they won't be play very passive also to just to make a draw, because sometimes they say when you just need a draw, you don't play for a draw, you just play a normal game.
That's very well said.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's the idea. You play a very, solid classical setup. And if you get your chances along the way, you take them. Otherwise, just keep playing very natural, solid moves. And that's probably what SL's strategy is here.
Yeah.
So, do you want to quickly look at Sashi's game?
Yeah, let's go over to his game.
He's black against Tigran Gharamian. And
And it has been the solid Berlin kind of opening,
yeah, so Bishop B5 and F6, the Berlin defense.
anti-Berlin. So we have
So
an anti-Marshall and an anti-Berlin.
yeah, Bishop C5 and White went for this Bishop C6, which is quite an interesting try in the anti-Berlin.
Yeah.
The point is you fracture black structure, but in return, black gets these two bishops. It is an extremely positionally rich sort of opening, and I personally really like this stuff from White, but I know that you have to be very, very what to say. You need to have very good feel in these positions to play them because they are so subtle.
Yeah. And also, black will be like maneuvering a lot, making a lot of positional maneuvering moves, and I think white will be trying at some point to get more control over the center, right?
Yeah, so what black wants to do is, first of all, white can't take knight into e5 because it runs into queen d4 and you attack both the knight and you threaten checkmate. So after, let's say, a natural move like knight c3, Sashi played knight d7, supporting e5 pawn. And you know what, black, one of the ideas is castles. Yeah, bishop e3, bishop d6. Black's d7 knight, many times black will try to maneuver it by playing moves like rook e8, knight f8, knight e6, c5, and knight d4, and bring this knight over to d4 and gain some central
Yeah.
control.
Yeah. So we are seeing that knight d2, knight c5, knight c4 was played. And I think black is going for the same plan which you told with knight e6 and c5.
Yeah, so she is opting for a different route. Yeah, here I guess knight e6 is a very natural move. Yeah, knight e6 actually, what do you do as white here? There are many interesting options with white also. One option is to play something like a3, b4 and play against this c5 maneuver.
Yeah. So let's say white goes for something like knight e2 and d4.
Knight e2 and d4.
Yeah. And if you play c5, maybe f4 if it's possible. So knight e2, c5. Now maybe let's say knight d6.
Right.
And then f4.
Yeah, this is a possibility, but I always feel that okay, these positions are very solid in general. Maybe queen d6 is a better option here. And
what about f4?
Yeah, and f4 is basically made by e to f4, and if you take knight f4, bishop 4, well, I can see he played actually exactly what you said, knight e6, knight e2. So c5 look like a very natural move here, yeah?
Yeah, to stop any kind of d4 also, yeah, knight d6 and d4 ideas. Because I think after knight d6, let's say queen d6, d4, we get this queen side, king side versus queen side, and the c file on the c file, the pawns are doubled. And can you show us, like, let's say
move like rook e8 or
yeah,
h6.
rook e8.
Yeah.
Let's say rook here, knight d6, queen d6, d4, d4 we can't play so soon because d4 will be hanging. So
Yeah, let's say a move like f6 here. And now your
yeah,
point is to play knight d6, queen d6, d4.
yeah, d4. But then that's also opposite color bishop. Maybe I don't know. Maybe bishop d4.
Yeah, but this does seem like it's not
Well,
so
yeah.
much for white, yeah?
Hmm.
Because although my pawns are doubled, I feel it's very solid for black. Black doesn't have any real weaknesses here. And
Yeah. Yeah, let's go over to SL's game and see what the progress has been.
so c3, black played knight e7, wanting to bring this knight to g6.
Hmm.
Rook e1, castles, knight b2, and g6, d4. So SL is challenging for the center, and Presine replied with g6, c6. Sorry. So
I
I
think
really
in these
want,
variations, whoever gets the d4 or d5 break first is always feels happier, yeah, because then that person is putting the pressure in the center first.
yeah, that is quite true. So I feel like, okay, I want to play knight f1 here, but maybe black has this idea of playing ed5, and then if ed4, knight d4, then I have d5, or maybe even knight into e4. It's
Yeah,
possible.
this trick.
Rook e4, then d5.
And
So
black gets back the piece.
yeah, and gets double bishop too, which
Mhm.
white doesn't want to give. So maybe SL will play something like bishop b3 or bishop d3.
Yeah, so that this trick is not there of giving double bishop to opponent. So SL will move the bishop, c4 bishop.
I feel like he'll play bishop b3 here.
Hmm.
You know, SL, when you look at him,
Yeah.
he's very calm and all, but
Hmm.
talking to him, it feels, it's a different personality. It's very, uh, it's a different sort of personality in person than on the board. Yeah, he's on the board. He's like a calm, composed, and like very focused kind of guy. And off the
So
board,
how is he? Yeah, how is he off the board?
he's he's very fiery. He's like, he has always has ideas and he wants to share a lot of stuff. But I honestly find it very annoying sometimes.
Yeah, like we discussed in the last stream, guys. If you have watched, then Abhi and SL have a love-hate relationship, and Abhi can actually tell us a many tidbits and gossips about SL.
Uh,
We don't
Mini,
know. We'll see.
I don't know if I can share.
No, I
Oh,
think the best will be when SL is also on the stream, and then you both share about each other.
no, okay. There's nothing to share really. I feel like I've told you that he's a good player, but he's an annoying person. That's the bottom line. So
Yeah, so this is like some uh, serious thing going on between you and SL.
right.
Friendly rivalry. Yeah. Okay, let's look at Sasikiran's game, and it was a anti-Berlin, and we will see. Uh, oh, yeah, it's still there at the 92 position, and
Yeah.
we are like Sasikiran is thinking and trying to come up with a plan. Abhi, can you flip the board for us?
Here you go.
Yeah. So Sasikiran is trying to probably think if he should play c5 or stop some f4 ideas. But I think he has got a very equal position,
Yeah,
and
these
his strategy
positions.
has worked. Yeah.
Yeah, these positions are very solid for black, but you also have to be careful. Like you said, this f4 plan is always there. So probably he's thinking of countering it correctly.
Hmm.
Uh, so I don't know. Do you think a move like Queen f6 makes sense, or maybe it's out of place.
We can see Polish player Wojtaszek, who has been Anand's second, Vichy Anand's second in his World Championship matches. And now we see our team, Indian team players and the French team, they're all focused on the game. Yeah, let's see Vidit's game.
Okay, let's go. So, okay, so we left it around bishop b7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So knight c3, d5. Wow, so MVL directly went, he's MVL, even if the moves are different, d3, bishop b2 stuff, he wants to go for Grunfeld.
Yes.
So d5, this is a very Grunfeld-like move, yeah? And
Yes.
Vidit replied with rook c1, e6, takes, bishop d3, and castles a6, b4. So so again, white is going for this minority attack. Maybe Vidit wants to play something like a4, a5 or a4, b5 here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then create some weak squares on the pin side, and probably also putting the b7 bishop in a very difficult situation. Because after black will have to find some ways to, bring the b7 bishop into play also.
Yeah, true. With black, I want to play knight e4 here, but it is a somewhat strategically risky move always, because you always have to calculate what happens after I take. But I feel here it makes sense to play knight e4 with black. And
yeah. So maybe white can go bishop into e4.
Yeah, but then I take
Knight d2, f5, knight f6. Knight f6, okay.
Yeah, I like knight f6 a bit more.
And
again, I feel, yeah, this I don't like actually for
yeah, you're right.
white.
Yeah, giving up the light squares is not such a great plan.
How is a move like queen b3 here?
Yeah, queen b3, I think black will go to knight f6.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of ideas here. One idea will be to play a4, like we talked about before. Another will be like to play rook c2, rook c1, doubling on the c file and going after the c7 pawn. So Vidit has a lot of ideas. So instead b4, MVL went rook e8 and Vidit went for this a4 move.
Yeah, I think it could be very similar to what you were suggesting with a5 and creating weaknesses on the queen side.
Yeah, because let's say black plays a move like h6 here, just to show you, a5, b5. This will cause a lot of weaknesses for black on this file. Especially the c5 square will be permanently weak.
Yeah, and also white cannot bring, or maybe white can try, black can try knight e4, knight e6, knight c4.
Yeah, that is quite possible. It's a double-edged sword, yeah, to play a5, b5 with white. But Vidit always has this option. He doesn't need to do this, but he always has this a5 idea in his hand if he wants to. So
yeah,
both are kind of even on time, yeah.
Yeah.
Vidit
So
a
what
bit
is
ahead.
the chat thinking? What will be the score? So earlier, Sanket Joshi had predicted 2.5, 1.5 for the team, and VSSSC Chess had was thinking 3-1.
Okay.
And now we have some information from the opening portion. So what does the chat think about the score? So what do you think? How do you play, Abhi, when you have such a situation where you have where you just need a draw to achieve the goal you want. Like you have almost won the tournament, but you just need to, sail through the next game.
I feel the best approach is, like you suggested, not to let anything in your go in your head. You just play a normal game. Maybe play a bit solidly. Don't play extremely aggressively, but just play a normal game. Make some good moves and just do what you have been doing the whole tournament, basically. And that generally should work. But considering this is a team event, the dynamics are totally different. Yeah, like you want four people to have the same kind of approach. So it is certainly an interesting situation to win, but it is also sort of like a good problem to have. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, let's say someone is an aggressive player, a attacking player. How do they play solidly in such a situation? Because you said maybe play a little bit more solidly. Maybe their strategy for the whole tournament was to be very aggressive. So how do they change it and be a little bit more solid?
Actually, you can even be aggressive if that's your natural style. Be aggressive. It's quite fine to be aggressive, but you have to achieve this balance between objectivity and the tournament situation. So
Yeah.
if you shouldn't be too passive, but you shouldn't be like you should go all out as well. And
Yeah.
you can be an aggressive player, but still make objectively good moves. So main point is to be objectively always have good position, and yeah, basically don't let your emotions get better of you and make the decisions as you think you should or you would in a normal situation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So draw is a good enough score for our team, and we are hoping a draw or more. So yeah, let's keep your wishes coming and like the stream. And we spoke in the previous stream also that when Team India wins, we will see Abhi live dance of the dance which he did with Arjun. So keep the like the stream and keep on wishing for the team to win. We'll have double celebrations on the stream.
I'm really looking forward to that
Yeah.
because that means that India will win. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
think
but
we
I will
have,
dance. I
yeah,
will dance.
we also have we have another stream going on, which is Fabi versus Arjun in the other stream.
Yeah.
They're playing the Speed Chess Championship, and Soumya is hosting that with Srinath, I think. And that's going to be a really tough and interesting match as well.
Yeah, Arjun is, as we know, a beast when it comes to faster time controls, but Fab is Fabi again. So it is very interesting. And, you know, all these Indian youngsters, yeah, they keep
Yeah.
surprising us. Like we saw Nihal's performance in the Global Chess Championship, where he
Yes.
beat players like Kramnik and Deng and Anish and so on. So,
Mm-hmm.
like we always, you think that, okay, right, Fabi will be a too tough an opponent or something, but suddenly you'll be like, oh, Arjun won against him. Okay, this is a
Yeah.
tough fight. Yeah. So I feel it's quite an evenly matched fight in general still.
Yeah, so our youngsters are like showing that they can, come over the experienced players and show their strength also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, let's
so
check the other games. Yeah.
I want to see Nihal's game actually. Like we left it at F6 here, and
Yeah, Niha's game is very interesting and it's a very dynamic game. And we can see the D3 pawn is weak. And will it be any, can Nihal take advantage of it?
yeah, like you said, D3 pawn is weak, so White will look to play D4 in this position.
Yeah.
Breaking open the center. So that's what probably he is calculating right now, Jules Musad, and maybe D4 here. You have F5 as black,
Uh,
or
D4, F5 can, yeah, F5 is a move, so maybe knight
but
G. 5 or knight c5. Yeah, knight c5
Yeah.
is, I think, a good move.
And the problem, guys, is knight c5, bishop c5, d5 attack this d5 knight as well as the e5 pawn. So
Yeah.
this is somewhat uncomfortable for black to face.
Hmm.
So maybe how do you play as d4 after d4 here?
I think d4, black will take e d4, knight d4, and knight a5 is a move also, I think.
So
Let's say e d4, knight d4, knight a5.
okay, interesting. Bishop a4 perhaps is a move. Like I just
Yeah,
want to
bishop
frustrate your
a4.
queen.
Yeah. I think putting the knight on the, you know, on the side is not a good idea.
Yeah,
Like
knight on the rim
they
is
say,
dim.
yeah, knight on the rim is
Exactly.
dim, knight on the rim is dim. Like there are a lot of sayings about the knight. So if the chat can come up with quotes for the knight where not to put the knight, yeah, there are a lot of funny quotes for the knight.
It's so weird. We're basically telling people that you should. You're basically telling people to come up with bad stuff. Yeah. Where can you put your knight? Which knight a7 is a move which is very terrible here. Knight d8 is a move which is terrible here.
So
So
I'm
guys,
asking them to come up with quotes.
yeah.
So we remember, sometimes we remember some things through some, if someone put a knight on the rim and it was bad for them, so we will for them it was a tragedy, but we'll remember it as a knight on the rim is a grim, so it becomes funny for us.
Yeah, it's certainly
Just
funny when
comment.
people lose.
Yeah, कोने में घोड़ा काम करे थोड़ा. Yeah, that's a funny one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, come on, chat. Come up with your quotes for the pieces, any piece actually. Yeah. So in
Wow.
how is Vidit versus MVL going on?
Let's look at it. So okay, MVL in fact went for c5. So we are at this position after a4, and MVL went for c5. Vidit took, and yeah, MVL now has an IQP. In return for that, his pieces are very active, and maybe this a4 pawn is slightly
also the fact that there are so many less pawns, I actually like for the tournament situation. I really like this position for white, because even though like the side who has isolated pawn will have attacking chances and all, but the bishop on g7 will not be helping black here, and this again works in white's favor.
I completely agree with you, because as black, you wanted to get a sharp position. Grunfeld is known as a very dynamic and sharp opening. But what you've got here is this weak d5 pawn. And, this bishop and this bishop, we are telling that these bishops were like very beautifully placed a few moves ago. But now this bishop is blocked by the d5 pawn. And this bishop, well, whenever you move this knight, I'm going to exchange the dark square bishop. So white has managed to neutralize the power of both black's bishops, and this d5 pawn is weak. So yeah, I quite like this position. It seems like a very good position to have considering the tournament situation, especially.
Yeah. And it will put a lot of pressure on MVL to create something from here. And we are seeing that Vidit is playing very, he's making the moves very calmly, and he played bishop d4.
So he wants to kick this knight. So maybe you want to play something like knight e6 here.
Yeah. Also, MVL is going lower on time, so it also confirms our judgment that white is better in this position.
True. MVL is having a think here, because he needs to create something. Although it's very difficult to create something black. White, on the other hand, has very easy play here. I really like this ideas like queen d2. Like, let's say if you move your knight somewhere, if you move your knight to e4, let's say I can attack your bishop on b7, and actually it's somewhat uncomfortable for black to defend this bishop, and even if you do, let's say you play queen e7, I play queen b2, I have this beautiful battery here. I have complete control over the d4 square. Your a6 pawn is maybe a bit weak, so this looks like a very nice risk-free position here for Vidit.
Yeah. Naranjit says, put your knight out of sight to give up the fight. Yeah, that's also quite true. If you want to give up the fight, just put your knight out of sight. Put it in a corner or somewhere.
That's actually quite a cute quote.
Yeah. It's like a silently, putting down your arms. Yeah, let's go over to SL's game. Everyone is the chat is very curious about SL's game, and it is it's a Sicilian. It's not a Sicilian, but it's like a dynamic e4 e5, and white has got the center also.
And black in fact took the pawn on d4 and played d5, and so basically now white has this very nice d4 e5 pawns, and black played knight h5 here. So maybe what black wants here is to play f6 move.
Yeah, try to neutralize the center with f6 break. And both the knights are wanting to come to f4.
Even the knight which is on the rim.
Yes.
Maybe it's not that dim. So SL replies with bishop c2, bringing the bishop to the better diagonal here.
Yeah. So the chat, if they ever get to read Dvorsky's books, I have once read that when two pieces are eyeing one square, like here the g6 knight and the h5 knight want to come to f4, then one of the piece is like a superfluous piece, it is called. Like there is a term. Because both of them want to come somewhere and they are looking good about it, but only one can come.
Yeah, it's like when you are with your friends and there is a last slice of pizza, right? And everyone wants the last slice, so not everyone can get it. Someone has to be disappointed. Anyways, he plays f6 here.
Yeah, or someone shamelessly has to eat the cake.
Yeah.
Without waiting for the others.
So f6 here, and SL immediately replies knight b3. So we can see Fressine is slightly ahead on time here. So he has been playing fairly quickly. nb3. Is bishop g4 a move, or bishop g4 probably is not that big because I can just play h3.
Yeah, and bishop f3 is not possible.
Yeah, because now the knight is... I can just take this h5 knight. Can't really go anywhere. And so what to do? What if you just take on e5 here?
How about knight g5? Can I play knight g5?
Ooh, it is quite a spicy move. Yeah? But knight f4 do I have here?
Yeah, knight f4 you do have. You definitely have knight f4.
Or maybe even knight f6. I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe not knight g5. Maybe white can just take knight takes e5. And knight e5, maybe there are some tactics. Bishop h7.
Actually, yeah, exactly. This is a very nice looking tactic here. So instead of taking one of these knights, you just go after this pawn and then you grab both the knights. Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah. So this is a possibility. Black did play knight f4. And he didn't allow for all these tricks. He just got the knight from out of sight to now like on sight.
On sight knight.
Yeah. And because the g6 knight is also keeping some block on the diagonal. And we will see that, if both the knights can create something on the king side, on g2 square, or maybe black might be wanting to play bishop g4, h3, knight h3, gh3, bishop h5, some such move.
Yeah, a lot of bishop g4 is always an annoying move. You pin this knight and you always have to deal with it very precisely as white. So, okay, so what can white do here actually? This actually has turned out to be, I would say, a slightly an opening victory for the French player Fressinet. Fressinet has been Magnus's second for many, many years now, and is a very strong player. And he's also quite a popular commentator. So it is very interesting seeing him play from time to time.
Yeah, so do you think bishop into f4 exchange white will do? Because bishop f4, knight f4, queen d2, f e5, knight e5, I'm thinking.
But what if I don't play f e5? Or even f e5, actually, I don't know if you can play knight e5 here, yeah?
Yeah.
Because knight e5 can run into queen g5 business, which is quite dangerous.
Yeah, we can see that SL is focused and Fressinet is not on the board, but SL is trying to find his way, out of this knight movements. Yeah, let's say Vidit's game.
Okay, so we left it at bishop d4, and we played queen a5, and Vidit just exchanged and played queen f queen b3.
Yeah, just exchange all the pieces, and this d7 bishop is having a lot to do, protecting the a6 pawn, and has to stay on this good, at least like b7 square, because bishop on c8 would be worse, not even protecting d5.
Yeah, so MVL apparently thinks the same and plays rook e7 and defending this bishop.
I think white will play rook c1, yeah. Again, another tempo and...
Yeah. Rook c1, queen d6. I really like a move like a5 here, although I don't know if black has some stuff against it. But just fixing this pawn here.
Yeah, I also like it. Just fixing. And also, I think white will have threats of queen d6.
Yeah,
knight b4 and queen d6. So it will be very dangerous for black to go into endgames.
Yeah, actually, queen a5 here, Vidit took bishop into c5. Maybe because of the tournament situation he took. Because if white wanted to play ambitiously, he wouldn't exchange this dark squared bishop. But Vidit probably thinks that, okay, let me just, probably they had a team meeting, captain said, let's just play very solidly, take a draw and go home. And that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, rook c1. Maybe queen a5 is also a move here.
Yeah, I think queen a5, knight d4. Which knight do we want to come to d4?
I think knight ed4.
Yeah, knight ed4, and if knight e4, then I think Vidit will go with a move like h3 and then knight c6.
And exchange this light squared bishop, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's look at Sasikiran's game. Because last we saw he was thinking of play. Yeah, he has played rook e8.
No,
he has gone for f5. Yeah.
So he went for f5, and so after f5 you give this e4 square, but in return you basically open up the position, and now your knight has possibilities of going to f4, and I think a move like knight f4, bishop e6 is what Sashi wants to do. Develop in this way, and maybe then coordinate the rooks by playing like queen d7 and rook a f8. So it causes some weaknesses, like this e4 square will be a weakness, but really helps to harmonize your pieces. F5 idea in these positions.
Yeah, and black is also opening diagonals and all for the bishops.
Yeah,
So
but
B5. Yeah.
Sashi went for b5 instead of knight f4.
Hmm.
So e5. Okay, so as white, I don't think you want to take on d6 here, and this double pawns is what white is fighting against now. So knight a5 is a move which makes more sense.
Hmm.
And how do you
Yeah.
protect this? Maybe
Yeah.
queen
So
e8 is the precise way because I
yeah,
want
keeping
my
the
queen
option
to
for bishop.
come to g6 potentially.
Hmm.
So
And the C8 bishop keeps options.
yeah, exactly. And I don't want to play c5 here because I'm always scared of a4 business.
Hmm.
So such okay, I think knight a5 will happen.
Yeah.
So do you want to quickly look at Nihal's game?
Yeah.
So we left it at b4 and white didn't go for d4. He went bishop d2 and Nihal just took and played knight d8. This is quite a nice move, yeah. Just I want to bring my knight to e6. Also, it opens the bishop up. So now black has quite a lot of ideas, and I feel now, yeah, uh, Jules went for d4 and ed4. I guess he'll take with the knight,
Hmm.
maybe with the pawn as well, because knight d4 can run into a move like c5 here.
C5 is bishop A4 an option.
Wow, yeah, it's a
Okay,
quite
it's
an
not
interesting
like
option.
getting anything, but it's just keep making some square for the knight.
Yeah, I don't want to let this knight get to f5, so I have to play queen c8, I guess.
But then it allows knight B5, knight D6 also maybe.
Yeah, all these are like very
Hmm.
interesting possibility. The thing is, Nihal's knight, if it gets to e6, it's very well placed. But as of now, it's on d8, and maybe white just took advantage of this window of opportunity and played d4
Well,
quickly.
just taking advantage of the fact that the knight has gone to, uh, you know, last rank, and before black brings the knights out, white has taken advantage of the center.
Knight is out of sight, so it's
Yeah,
taking
let's
advantage.
quickly have a look at with this game. If yeah, rook c1, queen d6 has happened.
And a5 also happened as we suggested,
Yeah.
and Maxine played rook c7. This is quite an even position. Yeah,
Yes. So, do you think rook into c7 will happen or not?
I do feel rook b1 is a better move here,
Yeah.
but maybe Vidit will again go for rook c7 considering the match situation. Uh, but as we were discussing, Padmini,
Yeah.
maybe it's sometimes better to just play normally than always play for according to the match situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
both choices make sense in their own way, but
And also maybe rook a1 and queen d6 ideas.
wow, it's quite
Then,
something
yeah, computer doesn't like my move.
because it's in the sight of the bishop
Yeah,
on
that's
g6.
true. That's true. Yeah, so rook a1, maybe rook b1 is a better choice.
So let's see what Vidit does here. I feel rook b1 is a better move here, but
Hmm.
all both choices are pretty valid. By the way, Padmini, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any go-to movies? Like, let's say you lose a game or you had a disappointing game, and do you have any feel-good or go-to movies or TV series or you go to feel better after that?
Not really. I am, but I don't have any go-to movies or TV series after I lose a game. But during the pandemic, I watched a TV series, Annie with an E, and
Okay.
I absolutely love the TV series. It is fantastic. It is very encouraging. It is very like cheerful for the women also, and I think everyone will enjoy it. It is based on during the 1920s, and yeah, it's a great show, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, when
Sounds
you
like,
get a chance, you should definitely watch it. And
yeah.
what's your favorite go-to movie or TV
So,
series?
uh, so actually, I'm a big fan of animated movies, and one of the movies which is my all-time favorite actually is Kung Fu Panda. I just love that movie
Mhm.
so much. So, yeah, so that's why I feel like that's the movie I go to when I am like feeling sad, because it's such a nice feel good movie, and also it carries a good message, and just something about that movie, also the nostalgia, everything
Yeah,
is so perfect about that movie.
yeah. So which Kung Fu Panda or all of them?
One.
Yeah, that's a classic, and I also absolutely love it. So does chat have any go-to motivating movies which they can recommend to us? Yeah. So we'll be keeping an eye on the recommendations by the chat, and
Yeah.
uh, let's see how Nihal's game is going.
So yeah, Jules took knight into d4. Both are
Mhm.
quite even on time. So
Yeah. So c5, we saw that bishop a4 was a little problematic. So maybe Nihal will try to bring the knight out as quickly as possible, the d8 knight.
yeah, but I really want to bring it to e6, and bringing it to e6 now doesn't uh, look that great,
Not-
because I'm
Yes,
certainly losing something, surely
yes,
losing something because of this discovered attacks.
yeah,
I don't know what exactly, but I'm sure I'm losing something.
yeah. Yeah, Saubhagya Swaraj is suggesting the movie Daman. I think it is he's suggesting a movie in my language, Odia. It's a recent movie and it's based on a true story. And I hope that movie will come in subtitles so that all my friends can also watch, and yeah, all of us will definitely get inspired by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've not heard so much of. I've heard about Bengali movies, but I've not heard so much about Odia movies when it comes to pan-Indian movies.
Yeah,
So
there have been a lot of classical Odia movies which I enjoyed watching when I used to be small, and the recent one, Daman, it's a very good movie, and like I just said, that it is based in on a true story. So I think you will soon be hearing about it, and yeah, I think it'll be a good watch. I think when we are together, we can definitely watch so that I can explain you the movie also, the dialogues.
wonderful.
Yeah, and Paras Leather Leather says Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, that's the
Ooh.
amazing movie too.
That movie, there are like very few movies which will make you emotional, but that movie is certainly something, especially in the final scene when he basically achieves everything that he has worked so hard for. It's just amazing to see.
Yeah.
So,
So
oh,
Knight
Nihal
C6.
came back knight c6. So, interesting choice here.
Yeah. Do you think Bishop A4 is a possibility to pin?
Uh, it looks really annoying,
Hmm.
but maybe I have
Um,
knight b6 here.
yeah. Bishop B5, Queen D5.
Bishop b5, yeah. Queen d5 somehow works, yeah.
Hmm.
It all looks like okay, white will have something, but in reality, like even though this bishop looks loose, this knight looks, it's under attack by two pieces. It's really difficult for white to do something here.
Yeah, everything is under control.
probably this is what Nihal saw, because bishop a4 is something you need to see before you make a move like knight c6. And
Mm.
yeah, knight c6, what else can white do here? So maybe do you have a move like queen h5, or is it too much?
Yeah, queen h5 just allows exchanges. Yeah, knight into d4. So I don't think queen h5 white will play.
Knight d4, I thought I can retake c into d4, and I'm just looking at this idea, yeah, at some point to play bishop c2 and try to threaten checkmate.
Yeah, but yeah, black has time to respond to it. So
Yeah, and in fact, Jules played knight f3, just brought back. He doesn't want to exchange the pieces, which makes sense.
mhm. And because black wanted to go knight d8, knight e6, so white thinks that okay, black went back. Black could not get his plan. So do you think black can go knight d8 again?
I don't think now it makes enough sense to play knight d8, knight e6 with d4 already underway. I mean, already all happening. So maybe we can play a move like rook d8 or rook b8 here. Maybe rook d8 is more sensible, yeah? Just bringing your rook to the open file.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very sensible.
The bar doesn't think it's sensible, but
Yeah, and I think we just need to create a loop for the black king.
but yeah, that is a slight problem for Nihal actually, because if you create a loop, like let's say here you play at h6, you will create so many holes around the black king, and all these light squares will be extremely weak. So I don't think
Yeah.
you can make a loop here as black.
So maybe
You
g6.
always,
A look with g6.
yeah, but g6 will allow bishop h6 always, which will be always annoying to meet,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, let's look at SL's game.
Yeah. So knight f4, he took bishop into g6. He didn't take the f4 knight like we discussed. He took the other knight, and
Yeah, because this also keeps control over the f4 square.
so and bishop g5 and queen d2. So maybe what SL wants is like he thinks that he has very good control over the dark square. So he extended the light squared bishop and kept a dark squared bishop.
And since also white doesn't have to try too much, white can try to be solid also.
Certainly, but white has to be careful here, as you have a lot of ideas against, like let's say bishop g4 is one idea.
Yeah.
You can even play bishop f5, bishop e4, which can be annoying to meet with. So you do have to be careful. But Fresini opted for bishop b8, bringing this bishop to a better diagonal.
And
SL,
also this d4 white's queen side is a little weak क्योंकि सारे pawns no थोड़े like तीन island pawn islands है white के पास. Like a5 b2 is one island, d4 is one island, and f2 g2 h2 is one another island.
yeah, classic principle, yeah, which we were taught as kids. Don't make pawn islands. So yeah, SL has more pawn islands. So that is not a great thing. He doesn't have that going for him. But played knight e5, takes h6, bishop e3, and knight h4. Okay. So since apparently it looks very, very dangerous for SL, because you have ideas like queen g6 now, not only threatening mate, but also threatening knight f3 check. So let's say you make a random move here, queen g6. You can't really defend this because f4 will run into knight f3 check and you lose the queen. This g pawn is pinned.
So I think white has to play f3. But then that will also run into bishop h3, I think, yeah.
Yeah, this is a very beautiful point here. F3, bishop h3, and you can't take again because you lose your queen due to a knight fork. So actually, SL is in quite some trouble, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think he will be able to find some defense and come back in the game. Maybe something like rook a4, queen g6, rook into
I was
h4 is
thinking
fine.
of rook a4, but I guess knight into
Knight
g2 is
g2.
working here. And the problem is if you take, then queen f3 check, and
Bishop
you can't
h3.
stop
Yeah.
mate.
Mm.
So,
So this is very dangerous.
oh, this looks really bad for white, to be honest. Maybe you can play. Okay, problem is I can't even play knight d4 here because you can just kick my knight always with
Mm.
c5.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
probably he missed knight h4, I feel. Like, if you
yeah,
see
knight
this,
f4.
definitely.
Yeah, that's true. Knight h4 is not very easy. Otherwise, I think he wouldn't have gone for knight e5 and all.
Mhm. True.
Yeah, so while we do you have any funny moments like on the board? It's a question by one of our viewers, Saubhagya Saraj. So, do you have a funny moment over the board?
Uh, you know, it's not an individual because I've seen this many times. Like, let's say
Mm.
you're playing in a blitz tournament, yeah, over the board blitz tournament.
Yeah,
And कभी कभी क्या होता है कि uh, by mistake you press the other side's clock or someone presses the other board's clock, yeah, not
yeah,
the one on your game but the other one, and then everything there is pure chaos because the other guy's like, what the hell, I mean, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, this is my clock, and this guy is like, okay, no, I wanted to press this one. And
और कभी कभी 40 मूव्स होगा तो वो तो ऐड हो जाएगा मूव काउंट.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
and
can be
also, yeah, actually also this moment where you saw this moment in US Championship this year where Samuel Savian
mm,
played against Hans Niemann, and he just took the king and
yeah,
basically, he just removed its crown and then just kept it and threw it at,
yeah.
probably he
I
was in a different, I don't know,
zone.
he was thinking about something else and he just did all this and then
I think
suddenly
he did
realized
it
that,
very.
okay,
Yeah, I think he did it very absent-mindedly.
yeah, yeah, absent-mindedly, exactly. So,
Yeah. So we also have an update from the Speed Chess Championship. Arjun is leading 3.5 versus 1.5 against Fabi. So that's a great start, and we will
wow.
be seeing how the match follows up.
Yeah, and also in that match, Arjun is known to be very, very strong when it comes to bullet, especially online.
Hmm.
So if he's having a lead right now, generally it would mean great for him because we have seen Arjun, like
Hmm.
sometimes even if he's lagging behind in the blitz portion, he makes up for it in the bullet portion. So
Yeah.
this is a great start for Arjun, definitely.
Hmm. Yeah. So let's quickly have a view on the other boards. So
Okay.
with this question, we have
Yeah.
uh,
So Ruxi-san, oh, Vidit actually went for Queen B6.
Queen b6 immediately.
Yeah, and takes Ruxian and knight d7, knight b3. So with its point was if black takes this b6 pawn, you have
Knight
knight
c5.
c5,
Yeah.
and yeah, and you take this a6 pawn, but black doesn't have to take, and MVL played bishop c3 instead,
Hmm.
stopping knight a5 idea, and so bishop c3, Vidit played knight fd4, king f8, and this is quite
Yeah.
a shocking decision by VD in a way, yeah, because especially since now I see it's very easy for me to say this since I see that Bar doesn't like this at all. But it looks
Yeah.
like this b6 pawn, you're going to lose this b6 pawn at some point, and then this a pawn is going to be a passer, yeah, and just going to go. So a surprising decision by Vidit.
Yeah. And we just saw a very beautiful view of the tournament hall and focus on many of the players and Thanks to FIDE for giving so many nice visuals of the tournament hall. Yeah, we can see I think the Chinese team in orange, and we can see the French team, which is obviously playing against our team. And now we have a focus on Vidit's game.
Mhm.
I think sometimes when first round in the first match we got really good positions and we got like quite a crushing win. So
Sorry.
and
Mhm.
this game we just needed a draw. So I think the uh, team has to really come up and uh, come back in the positions,
Yeah.
because this d6 pawn is in trouble and it's a little going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, black will bring the king to d6, covering the c5 square, then the b6 pawn with this knight. So
Yeah.
this doesn't look great for Vidit. And yeah, so I want to see how Nihal, because now that we see SL and Vidit are in trouble, we have to rely on Sashi and Nihal, although both are
Yeah.
having black pieces. So let's
Mhm.
quickly see Sashi's game. So
Yeah.
white took knight into d6 here, c into d6, f4, and takes c5, and knight e4 by Gharamian, and t5, bishop g5. Okay, very interesting play by white here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the position is like on full flare.
Yeah, white.
Black king is a little weak, but and black needs to develop the c8 bishop and bring the other pieces.
Yeah, certainly. Black does have this very good center though, which I like. But yeah, you're right. Black. Okay, white's pieces are much better developed and in better position now. So maybe a move like, let's say, queen c7 makes sense here.
Yeah, queen c7, rook into f7, queen f7, rook f1.
And I play queen g6. Yeah,
So
maybe in this case you might lose a piece, but you
yeah,
can play a
putting
move like knight d6 here, perhaps.
mm,
Going after this
so,
guy.
so queen g6, and how do I proceed?
Oh, there is actually a very interesting idea here. I can play rook e1. So the point is, I can't really take on g5 because white will get rook e8 check, and I will lose the queen. So,
Um, Nor queen g5 also. Queen g5, knight g5, rook e8 mate.
yep.
So queen c7, rook f7, queen d7, rook f7, queen f7. Yeah, rook e, knight d6, queen g6, rook e1 is a good choice.
Padmini, I just got a moment
Hmm.
where I was so close to sneezing, but I never sneezed. So it felt very weird, and now I'm all dizzy, and I don't know what's happening.
So that's a thing also that you get to like sneeze आता है और हम sneeze नहीं करते, so it makes us feel dizzy.
Yeah, makes you feel weird.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, let's say Nihal's game. Because Jules was having a better piece placement.
Mhm.
Nihal is
I
going
played
for the
knight
exchanges.
e5.
Hmm.
So they did go for exchanges, but yeah, Jules going for this threatening checkmate with queen into h7 here. Nihal stopping it with e4.
Hmm.
White can't take this pawn on e4 because this d2 bishop will be hanging in the end. And
Yeah.
he'll lose a piece. So maybe you can play a move
So
like rook e2 here, or rook d1 perhaps.
yeah, but rook d1, then you still can't take on e4. Yeah.
True.
So rook d1, black can go queen f7 or queen e8 maybe.
Mhm. Oh, maybe you can play a move like bishop e3 here. And okay,
Bishop
can
c8.
chat find the move after bishop into c3 for
Yeah,
white?
good question. Good question.
Seems like you just lost a pawn, but there is one move which white can make, which can turn the whole thing around.
Yeah, while the chat thinks, I would like to answer a question. As a player, how easy or difficult is it for you to make draw on demand? And I'll answer it first. I
Mhm.
think it is extremely difficult. I was recently the Asian Championship concluded, and I was, I think, half point behind the leader. And if I just needed to draw that game to come second, and I qualify for the World Cup. I get a great position from the opening also, but then I am not able to, like, I make one mistake and my advantage slips, and then the game starts going downhill and I lose that game. So I think it is a extremely difficult thing to draw on demand. But then, the strong players do it like very often also. And yeah, it's a tough situation. Just remembering about it gives me chills, and I think I have still not gotten over it. And it still
Wow.
breaks my heart, and it will keep breaking my heart until I actually, win on demand or draw on demand. Like drawing on demand shouldn't be such a difficult task because your opponent is under the pressure to win the game, but still it is not easy, I feel. What do you think, Abhi?
Yeah, it is not easy. I think whatever the situation is, if I feel like I'm in the best shape if I'm extremely unemotional. I play
Yeah.
chess like a robot basically.
Hmm.
If you enter that, as chess players, I feel we sometimes enter this, like in Dragon Ball Z. If you have any anime fans here, the the main character Goku goes into Ultra Instinct.
Hmm.
So like that, when you unlock Ultra Instinct in chess, and you just, you don't even have to calculate. You just see variations. Yeah, you don't have to calculate variation. You just see them. So,
Hmm.
and that only happens, I feel, when you're like extremely unemotional. Yeah, you're just completely focused on the game, thinking about nothing else and thinking just about the position. So that is the best place to be in general. So even
Yeah.
in this situation, I would like to think that that is the best state to be in, psychologically speaking.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But I feel sometimes when we are in that pressure situation, it is harder to remember that we just need to be calm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think Excel has found a way to get out of this queen g6 and knight
Uh,
f3
so, so,
trick.
so did people find the move on chat?
Yeah. So it was a question for the chat.
मिला क्या भाई लोग?
Bishop c3 खराब move है.
Okay, this is a slightly difficult question to be honest, but still I hope that some people in our chat would have gotten the answer.
Yeah, I'll give you uh, a acronym LPDO. We just need we just need to remember it.
Yeah, true.
Do the
So,
chat does the chat know what LPDO is? So कभी भी हम गेम खेल रहे हैं ना, we just need to remember this LPDO. If you don't know what LPDO is, just tell, I'll tell, and then you'll definitely find the move. Yeah,
so,
let's see. Let's see. Let's wait a little for the chat to uh, give come up with the answers.
so Padmini
And
is You're like, I feel like you are like a disciplinarian. Yeah, you want to discipline the chat.
No, I just want them to remember all the tricks and funny stuffs, and that will help them, uh, win the games quickly. Yeah, Swapnil Datta's is correct. Loose pieces drop off. So I
Mhm.
think this will also help them find the move. There are what so queen is a loose piece, but generally it doesn't cannot be attacked so easily. And the rook and the bishop. So queen c5 and yeah, one of the pieces drop off.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah. So and you can't take this rook because that will result in checkmate.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so here Jules played queen c5, attacking this rook, and makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
But if I guess you want to play rook e8 as black here,
Yes.
defending this e4 pawn.
Yeah. So d2 bishop is also hanging, and yeah, white has to keep making some threats to put black under pressure.
In general, I feel this position is very, very even though.
Hmm.
Like these sort of positions, especially in grandmaster games, you'll just see these pawns getting exchanged, maybe queens getting exchanged, and it results in a drawn endgame after that. So I feel that is the most likely result in this position. But let's see, Nihal played rook c8. A very interesting choice here by Nihal.
Yeah, protecting c7, keeping an attack on the d2 bishop, and
Mhm. You know
keeping
what?
some other plans also.
Maybe what Nihal wants after bishop e3, he maybe wants to play a move like queen d6. And the point is, okay, first of all, if you take, I take, and now this rook is very well placed on c8, attacking
Hmm.
this c3 pawn.
Hmm.
And otherwise, you're even threatening queen into c5, bishop c5, and bishop into c3 here. Uh, so, yeah, it is maybe something like this is Nihal's point, and seems like a very interesting. Also, you liberate the queen. So now, before this, the queen was tied to this c7 pawn, and now the queen can roam around freely.
Yeah, and we are also going into the crucial stages of the game. कि सबका घड़ी पे like it's around 10 minutes. So we will soon be seeing very मतलब advantage होगा तो भी the game can turn around. Will it can things will get very unclear now.
True. Yeah, actually, time is a very important factor, as you said. So hopefully our boys can, try to confuse their opponents in time pressure. So do you want to look at SL's game quickly? I want to see if he has
Yeah,
made
yeah.
any
SL has
progress.
saved himself from this very annoying queen g6 and knight f3 threats. So
Wow. But okay, he's just lost a pawn, and yeah, this doesn't look great, to be honest. Oh my God.
yeah.
So King F1 is what he played here, but I feel there are so many moves which are winning for black here, and it's
Okay,
quite
black still needs to find the mate.
that is true.
Which
But
is
I guess rook e8 is one move which you can play. You can even play a move like knight e5 here, you know,
yeah,
with
that's
the
a
idea
little
of
bit
coming knight in
annoying.
g4. So
Mhm.
black has a lot of choice.
So India has won against France in the previous in this quarterfinal stages. They all the teams are playing two matches against each other,
Hmm.
and India has won the first match. So this game is although it's crucial and the draw is enough for us to go to the semi-finals. But in case if even if something goes wrong, we'll have the blitz, we'll have the tiebreak playoff, and it's still going to be a long games.
True. So in case if India loses this round, we'll have a blitz tiebreak playoff. So
Like right after the match.
yeah, right after the match. So
Yeah.
so we are seeing that SL is really struggling. Let's see VD's position. So we left it here, and yeah, I guess he just gave the pawn, and this is the current position. He played knight e4. Yeah, this doesn't look great for Vidit either because I'm attacking this f2 pawn. You don't want to exchange and give black two bishops versus two knights. That would be very difficult to deal with.
Yeah. But the knights could be tricky in time trouble. But will that be enough against MVL? But MVL really has a lot of time. 15 minutes versus 5.
True.
Hmm.
With instead Vidit played f3. MVL went back knight f6.
Yeah.
I guess MVL has ideas like h5, h4 in his mind. Uh, yeah, this is not looking great for Vidit. He's just a pawn down, and it's not going to be easy to defend this.
Yeah. Let's go chat. Let's keep the wishes for our team so that they overcome all the difficulties in the position and
Yes.
come back very strongly.
Yeah, absolutely. We need all your support, guys. We need all your support. Send all your love and support for our Indian team.
Yeah, in the Sasikiran game, I think it's very interesting. Let's go to his game.
Yeah, so Sashi took, and we actually discussed this. Yeah, but instead of
Yeah.
rook e1 that we discussed, Gharamian played bishop h4, and now Sashi has gotten knight d4, bishop g3, because I also had a threat of knight f3 here again. So bishop g3, and I really like a move like bishop g4 here. Meaning,
Yeah. So what
I'm,
is your idea?
my idea is to play knight e2 check. So let's say this knight e2, and I'll win a piece because I'll take the bishop and then take this knight.
So bishop g4 already threatens something.
Yeah, but I guess white can defend it by playing rook e1.
Mm.
So Sashi did go for bishop g4.
Yeah.
And considering the tournament situation, what I feel is very likely is a move like rook e1, h5 even.
Yeah. H5 I think is a good move because it threatens h4 and also won't be easy for white to find moves so easily here.
Yeah, it is. It looks like a good practical try in this position. I feel
Yeah.
rook e1 is going to happen because it seems like the most logical move to play here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's check Nihal's game. It is heading towards a draw.
Okay, so yeah, bishop a3, he played queen c6. And yeah, this is an extremely dry position. And this, yeah, he took bishop e4 and c5. So guys, it might look like white is a pawn up here, but dc5, rook c5. This position is a very well known, and we study this draw especially a lot when we are younger, so that when you're older you don't get become embarrassed and lose in such positions. So I'm sure Nihal knows how to defend here very well, and it is supposed to be an easy theoretical draw nowadays. Three
Yeah.
versus
So I
two in
think
a
this
rook
game will
end
end
game.
in a draw,
Yeah.
and yeah, this game will soon end in a draw, and we'll see if Vidit can hold the position.
Yeah, so nc3, h5, knight a4. So with this is probably trying to create some tricks with his knight. If you go here, so I guess h4 is a possibility for black here. Yeah,
Yeah.
seems like a very logical, but Bar doesn't like it.
Yeah, but I think it won't be still very easy for black to uh, make use of the extra pawn क्योंकि दोनों knight से and it can be still difficult. I think. But I feel somehow I have seen ki MVL is very good with two bishops.
Mhm.
Like if someone wants to study two bishop ka games, then they should definitely study MVL. But I think black here Vidit will still be able to manage something. क्योंकि pawns भी light squares पे है h5 g6 f7 और d5 pawn is a isolated pawn and a pawn को बढ़ने को time लगेगा. So I think still something maybe white will be able to come up with.
Yeah, so Vidit, MVL played knight d7 to stop knight c5. So Vidit came back and attacked the d5 pawn. MVL will certainly not be looking for a draw here. Maybe he'll play. Maybe he won't play knight f6 here because he doesn't want to draw. But bishop b7 here makes sense, right? Or you want your bishop on c8.
I think he will go for knight e5 and king b6 a5. Maybe he wants to try, or maybe he'll play knight c5 exchange. No, first he has to defend d5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe bishop b7.
Yeah, bishop b7. I was thinking if I can play knight a5. Yeah. But yeah, you can go bishop a8. But I feel like I've made progress here as white. Yeah. If you have to play more like bishop a8.
Knight b3 again.
Because you couldn't take. So lead to a double. Actually, this is even possible.
Yeah, this is
because we have bishop b5.
Also,
this was supposed
yeah?
to be a double. Yeah. And you attack this guy here. So knight c3, bishop. I'll find another move after knight a4. So he might repeat once, but he certainly won't go for a 3-4 repetition here.
Yeah, Vidit is also under huge time crunch.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a difficult ending for white, but we will see. Let's go over to SL's game.
Yeah, SL. Okay, Fresine played queen h4, queen h5. SL replied with h4, and yeah, this looks simply terrible. And knight e5, knight g4, queen d2. I think this is simply over for me. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I like that SL is keeping the time. At least he's not going low on time and trying to put a little pressure on Fresine to think on his time also.
That's true. But otherwise there are like very less positives left in this position, because I can simply play a move like rook e8 here. And
so bishop g1 he will go.
Yeah, okay, he played bishop d4, I guess.
Yeah, this happened in the game, bishop d4.
But here again, white has so many choices and all of them should be very, very good.
Yeah.
You can try to bring your queen to e6, let's say by queen f5. And then go through with the rook. You can even directly play rook e2 and even this is winning. Even though you have two rooks, the king is extremely weak here. So let's see what Fresine does.
Yeah, let's see Sasikiran's game. Maybe
yeah, I think Sashi is the one who has an outside chance of winning. Yeah. So bishop f5 d4. So okay. I think Sashi will play c4 here. Yeah.
And black is planning to play bishop d3 and keeping the white rook on the first rank.
Yep. Also, you can go bishop e4 and h5, h4 here. That is another plan which you can opt for. So
yeah, I think this game maybe Sasikiran will have some chances of,
And again, this is going to a time scramble. Although Sashi has 2 less minutes here. So.
But he has the advantage, I think. So black's move will be much more easier to play than white's.
But I think what Gharamian has played here is very good. Rook f1. So now if black moves the bishop, I'll just exchange the rooks immediately. and yeah, this will lead to a draw. So it's not going to be easy because where do you put your rook as black? If you play rook e8, which is a natural looking move, I guess you can try to play something like queen f4 and queen d6 and just go after your queen and try to exchange it as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. This will be a like this game will also probably give us some result, but white will become very happy seeing the other boards, and we will see how this game continues. And I think Nils asked if the blitz should be played by the same players. We don't know. The team will decide in case that situation arises, which players will be playing the blitz. It will depend on the team strategy, and we just have to hope for a positive result in this match. And we should be having all our wishes for our players so that they hold their hold the difficult positions or maybe even convert it.
True.
Yeah. So even though I think we see that in Vidit's game, Black is making progress. He has. Let's go to Vidit's game.
Yeah, surely. With it, so here NC3, MVL played knight b6 and with it played e4, exchanging this d5 pawn. And so Vidit is opting for active defense here. Maybe he wants to somehow pester this little guy here.
Yeah.
So king d2.
Yeah. So the as many pawns as White is able to exchange, it's good.
Yeah, I guess so. And I guess the point of king d2 is to play bishop c4 and attack this guy here. Because from when the king is on c2, if I play bishop c4, it will run into knight e3 check, and you don't want to exchange this bishop for this knight.
So king d2 is like a prophylactic move. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the chat knows, but prophylactic moves are moves which are, it's just like its normal meaning. Yeah, obviously the chat will know, but yeah. So since White wants to play bishop c4, White first starts with king d2 to stop knight e3 and then play bishop c4.
हमारे चैट को अंडर एस्टिमेट कर रही हो पद्मिनी.
नहीं, वही मैं सोची फिर नहीं उनको पता होगा तो आई एम लाइक या they don't need the explaining, just in case someone is new.
Okay, so we have news. Nihal versus Jules. It has resulted in a draw. So unexpected result, I guess. So okay, let's move over to SL's game for a second. I just want to see how he continued. So he played NH2, Queen H2, Rook D4. Oh my god! And
see, I told you the queens. Okay, it's getting a little difficult, very difficult actually.
yeah, this is over now.
Yeah,
Like
this is
this.
over. Also, Rook B3 and Rook E3 is there.
Yeah. Okay, Sashi's game. Actually, we have another news. Sashi's game has resulted in a draw. So here, Sashi played at 6 and they exchanged the rooks, and there was, I guess, no progress for either side in this game. So we have two draws, and I guess we have SL is losing his game. So
Yeah. So Pranav asked how this World Team Chess Championship is different than the Chess Olympiad. One of the like Sanket Joshi says, time control is different, and also at the Chess Olympiad, teams from all over the world were participating. Almost 180 countries were participating, but in the World Team Chess Championship, the selected top teams are participating. The best teams from all the continents, and by the rating, they're all after a selection, they are participating in this World Team Chess Championship. But in the Chess Olympiad, there were 180 countries participating. So we are seeing Vidit is trying to hold knight g5 he has played.
Yeah. So yeah, things are looking pretty bad here, Paddu, for the Indian team. SL
Yeah.
has lost his game,
Mm.
uh, and Vidit's game, it's impossible almost for Vidit to win unless MVL makes a miraculous sort of blunder. So
Yeah.
yeah, things are looking precarious for the Indian team. So Padmini, so this is the situation. Yeah, you are the team captain now, and your team has just, the opposing team has made a comeback, and now the momentum is on their side. So how do you motivate your players, and how do you approach the blitz tiebreaks after this, especially?
I'm hoping the pressure is off and they can come back to their natural, the way they played the first match. And even though the momentum might look like on the opponent side, but it will again be a fresh match. So, and that should be taken that way and played with fresh mind and as if it's the first match.
Yeah, that is good advice, I guess. The thing is, we always say we should have a fresh mind and all, but
Hmm.
it's very difficult practically to get to be in the right mindset again after you lose. So I have to say, like, the main thing is you should not lose heart. If you lose heart, then it really shows in your game. Otherwise, if you have that spirit still left in you, then it's still fine. But I feel like especially in blitz, yeah, you have to be extremely alert and you have to be careful at all times. So but I feel like on paper our team is much better on blitz, since we have players like Vidit, Nihal, SL, and
Yeah.
Sashi, who are known to be like extremely strong blitz players. Of course, their
Yes.
players are extremely strong as well. But when we are talking about players like Nihal, who is like a monster when it comes to blitz.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I think we will be seeing great blitz matches also. And although this looks a little difficult, but we still have hope over with its game. And yeah, we will be seeing how things turn out. Srihari asks why India did not send their best team. I think we are always trying to send our best team, and these are some of the best chess players in the world, and all of them are consistently playing, training hard. They're very hardworking, and if we see their results, also they have been winning tournaments all around the world. We know that okay, maybe Gukesh, Prag, Arjun, they might be they're having a better rating, but all the players who are in the team now and all the players who played in the Olympiad, the A team, B team, everyone is always, they're just there for the medals. And it just depends how the team has a performance on the day because we can never predict it, like whichever team is there. So I think this is a very good team, and yeah, we have the best team which we can. And sometimes some players have already committed in other tournaments, so they can't, we can't like draw call back from our commitment. So uh, when we make a commitment, we have to play there. So I think the players had to do what they had to do, and yeah, this is one of the best teams which can, win the tournament.
Absolutely. And okay, by the way, I was
Yeah.
talking that we have a very strong team, but they also have Maxime Bachar Lagra, who is the reigning World Blitz champion. So
Okay. Yeah, that's
I
true.
forgot to mention that.
Yeah, but like Sanket Joshi says, we have seen in the past matches that a team comes back stronger when their backs are against the wall. So
True,
we
true.
are going to see a definite comeback. And now the score is in France favor. They have already uh, now the score is 2-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, so with this game we are seeing, and it looks a little difficult, but so many pawns have gotten exchanged. Although even if with this game ends in a draw, France still wins the match, and we will be seeing a blitz tiebreak playoff matches,
You
and
know
we'll
what
see if,
may
yeah.
I'm really sorry for interrupting you.
No,
Please go on.
I was just saying that we will see if we are going with the same team or not, because one of the viewers asked if we'll be same playing with the same players. I think it will depend on the team strategy.
Yeah. Uh, so I completely agree. So yeah, yeah, maybe what MBL is trying to do here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black's moves are very easy and he's just making
Mhm.
them very quickly. He's maybe just trying to, trying to torture with it before the Blitz playoff. Try to tire him out.
Yeah, but maybe that will also help him come in the flow of playing the moves in seconds, because his reflexes will also sharpen up.
That
What
is
do you
true,
think?
yeah.
Yeah. So it can work both
Although,
ways.
yeah, yeah. Although I guess the players are very tired by now. Uh, this is the second match, and they have
Yeah.
already. It's been 2 3 days of grueling chess, and also behind the scenes, what we don't see is these players are working very very hard. So
Yeah.
it's not Blitz is something it's an extremely fun thing, but it also makes you really emotional and very nervy. So
Mhm. That's true. That's true. And I can definitely feel the pressure, because I think as players, we can know that, being here sitting at our home and commenting on the games, we can feel the stress. And imagine the players playing at the venue. They have so many people watching them, and rooting for them, cheering for them. That sometimes also is a pressure, and they're trying to live up to everyone's expectations.
certainly
So
not an easy job, eh?
yeah, it's not an easy job, and sometimes we get difficult portions. We have to draw on demand, but it's still not easy, and we still have to keep on going and give our best.
Yeah, sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to in
Yeah.
life. So that's just how it is.
Yeah, but
Uh,
we will be after this game. Uh, we are hoping for a miracle again, and let's keep our fingers crossed until the end of the match.
True. So yeah, about this end game, this is
Hmm.
so I think this is a lost end game for White because of this weakness on H3, and Black will slowly, like you have to keep making this subtle moves and slowly try to advance this A pawn, and once it reaches A3, it becomes extremely lethal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a lost position because you just can't manage everything with bishop and knight here. Just can't defend everything.
Yeah, but I think if Vidit is able to draw this question, it will be a huge moral boost for Vidit, and not very good for MVL, because he got such a great advantage after the queens got exchanged. So MVL will really try to win this game,
Yeah,
and we will see if he wins, how he converts with the two bishops and extra pawn, or if we'll see if Vidit is able to hold the position.
true. So right now, as we are speaking, do you think that the captain and the players who have finished their games, they're all having a talk right now and deciding what to do exactly?
Yeah, it is possible. It is possible that the players and the captains are already forming a strategy, and yeah, we don't know. Like, I'm sure they must be already trying to calm down and trying to get their energies back before the next match, before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Sudhir Pandey. He said love for Puranik sir and Padmini ma'am. So thank you, Sudhir Pandey.
Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you very much. Uh, yeah, things are looking
So
bleak against.
do you know how the other players are in the Blitz from the French team
So I know,
apart from
okay,
MVL?
yeah, apart from MBL, I know Jules Moussard. He's a very
Mhm.
strong blitz player, and for a long time, I think he had a rating close to 3,000 to 3,100 on chess.com.
Okay, but
So
I think online and offline blitz can be totally different, yeah, because online also a lot of mouse skills and other stuffs come into picture.
yeah, but he certainly is a very strong player when it comes to the blitz portion, I feel. So he's very good. And also Fresine, players like Fresine, like right now we saw SL was white, SL was star player, but Fresine has a lot of experience and he has been through these situations many times before.
Hmm.
So it's stuff like this which comes into play in situations like this, like when their backs were against the wall. It was the experience of Fresine which counted in the end. So you really can't discount anyone, and even Tigran Gharamian is a very strong player, and there is no cakewalk as such. Yeah, so all the games will be extremely fighting, and it won't be an easy game for anyone.
Yeah, so the games are over, and I think
Yeah,
the score is 3-1 in favor of France, and we will be having the blitz tiebreaks. Let's confirm the uh, tiebreak time. I think it will be starting soon because this is a quarterfinals, and today it will be decided which teams go to the semi-final.
yeah.
So it will
Uh,
start very, very soon. In 10 minutes, it will start, and or maybe a little late, depending on the readiness of the players, because some other games might be going on still. And I think Spain versus Azerbaijan, some games are still going on. So once all games are over, and if some games have to need the playoff matches, it will start all the games, all the playoff matches will start at the same time, and we'll just be waiting for the players to for the blitz playoffs to start, and if the viewers want, they can ask any question to me and Abhimanyu, and we will be here. Yeah, let's look over the other games a little bit, Abhi, how the other teams are doing.
yeah. That I
So
was
let's,
just going to suggest the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah, yeah. I think it's because I have been continuously talking, so I was not giving you a chance to share your thoughts.
It's fine if you're talking sense. So
So Chris Kynes asks if can player be substituted, say who could be tricky in blitz. Yeah, I think the team can have a different strategy for the blitz playoffs. Yeah, let's look over.
yeah, so let's see. So China against Poland is still going on. So Casper Pyrun here, he's playing Rook Knight versus Rook. He's
Mhm.
the one defending against the Chinese player Zhu Yu. So I this is supposed to be an easy theoretical draw, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then okay, Mateus Bartel versus Baijinju still
So
going
in the
on.
first match, Ukraine versus Uzbekistan, the match of interest. Uzbekistan won 3-1, and let's can we go to Uzbek versus
Yeah, they
Ukraine?
actually won the match already, 2.5, 1.5.
So Uzbekistan won already.
Yep.
Okay, so Uzbekistan is already in the semi-final, and they will be meeting either India or France, the team which wins this playoffs.
Yep. And
And on
uh,
the other teams,
yeah, so Azerbaijan versus Spain has resulted in Spain team beating Azerbaijan actually.
oh wow! In the first match, Spain versus Azerbaijan was a draw, 2-2.
Okay, so that means that Spain has
Qualified to the
qualified
semi-final.
to the semis, yeah. And actually,
Yeah,
David Anton Gujaro from Spain beat Teimur Radjabov. So he provided
crucial
the
win.
the crucial win exactly. So what's happening in Pyron's game? Let's see.
Yeah.
So have you defended such positions, Padmini, in a classical game?
Yeah, I think I have got once or twice this rook knight versus rook, and I feel very confident to defend this kind of positions, and I'm never afraid to go into it, even if my opponent is a very strong grandmaster.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story, Abhimanyu. So, एक बार क्या हुआ, I was playing against a grandmaster, and my opponent had rook, bishop, and a pawn. I had rook and bishop. So the theoretical drawn ending, as we know, is if I give up my bishop for the pawn and opponent के पास rook और bishop रहेगा, मेरे पास सिर्फ rook रहेगा, so it is a draw with correct defense. But that time I did not know that no, or maybe I did know that it was a draw, but I did not want to give my extra piece for the pawn, like the
Right.
known theoretical draw. तो somehow मेरे opponent ने pawn push करके ऐसे जगह पे लाया, a situation arose. Now I'm not able to give the bishop for my pawn for the opponent's pawn, और वो pawn queen हो गया. And later whenever कभी भी मेरे like मेरे पापा को मुझे encourage करना रहता है, he will always tell me, you remember how that grandmaster won against you with just one single pawn? Like he's a hobby player and he loves the game. So, but then I tell him, okay, I could have given my bishop for the pawn, but he tries to say me, nay, eight pawn is one pawn. With one pawn, he won against you. So you can try the same thing.
It is
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So he always tries to encourage me that way.
Yeah, it's I guess it's motivation based on grief, which always works.
Yeah. So this is Lidi versus
Yeah, Gumular's Simon. So
a difficult name.
so yeah, they actually ended the game in a draw. So only Pyron's game is going on right now. The Rook Knight
And the
versus Rook Push.
okay, first match, China had won 2.5, 1.5. And how is the score looking now?
Yeah, so now yeah, actually Pyron and Zhu Xiang uh, not able to find the rest of the games here.
Yeah, I think two games are still going on. Yeah, let's see. No, Sanket Joshi asks, is that a motivation or a taunt? No, I think he is very innocent and he tries to motivate me. Like with one pawn also you can win. So just keep the you know hopes high.
You know, people find motivation in very weird stuff.
Yeah.
So uh, you know, I feel really motivated when I'm eating a lot. I'm
Eating a lot.
eating a lot of junk food, especially. I feel really, like I have to make up for this. I have to exercise or I have to work hard. I have to earn whatever I'm eating. I want to uh, make sure that I deserved whatever you know
Mhm.
treat, whatever little treat I had. So
Yeah.
okay, so let's. So Padmi, do you want to take a little break before the blitz tie breaks? Perhaps
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
we
But
can take a short break.
I think the matches will start soon.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. We can. We'll come back in 5 minutes.
Please don't go anywhere,
And
guys.
yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. Or you can also take a short 5 minute break. But we'll soon be here. It will be a very exciting playoff match. So yeah, let's take a quick break and come back.
यस, हाथ मुंह धो लो, खाना खा लो,
Uh,
पुशअप्स वगैरह करके एकदम रेडी होके आ जाओ 5 मिनट में.
yes.
h1, h7 diagonal, I should say, going for the black king. The knight on b4 stops the bishop from ever getting to d3. So I feel like this is just all smoke and mirrors, and Fabiano should be happy about his position as he tries to win his third straight game in this time segment.
And Arjun once again settling into a deep think. I mean, knight c3, not where you want the knight to be. You want that c pawn to move to c3. That knight on b4 now resembles white's knight on b5. And black is the one who has a serious attack on the queen's side. Except you want to be very careful about moving your queen away and allowing g5.
But this is like the best Caro-Kann you could ever ask for. Like this looks like those lines in the Caro-Kann. Instead of the bishop being chased to g6, it's actually safe at home. And now knight d7. When you have the initiative, let's trade off some pieces. h4 is under attack. g5 is played aside. f6. There is a king in the center. So once again, Fabi can make this f6 move and open the position up.
I mean, white is rumbling forward, but he's got zero foundation here. I mean, white literally does not have a single thing going for him positionally. And these pawns are like the definition of a paper tiger.
And I think f6 still is good.
That bishop on it does such a good job of controlling h5.
Very important, because otherwise bishop takes h7 would be a sacrifice. But f6, just swap on f6 if you want. And it doesn't matter if the g file is open. He instead goes for the queen side. How could you blame him? Fabi, he's a new man right now.
No, he totally is. I mean, you could just sense it in his play. Now, he's not threatening queen takes d4,
he is,
obviously.
He is.
Bishop. Oh, no. He is! You just made me eat my words. That's amazing. Let me show this on the board. I jumped to conclusions here, but yes, he is because of knight takes c2. Great catch.
I think
win the
screen
queen
पे
back.
सब
You're
दिख
up
रहा
a
है.
piece. That's easy to miss.
It
YouTube
certainly is. And
screen.
I was going through the same calculation as you were, and I was like, oh, queen d. Wait a second.
But you didn't stop calculating.
No, I was just stopped myself before queen d4.
Oh, he missed it as well.
And look at how quickly Fabi plays it. You could tell
That was my fault.
He's a completely new player right now. Like as
Arjun's
soon as,
like, but I trusted Daniel. I shouldn't have.
but look at this. Have you ever seen Arjun react like that? I literally never have.
No, because he never blunders like this.
But something is broken in his play, and you get this timeout, this break. 30 minutes through this 3+1. We still have 15 minutes to go. And right now, Arjun is dropping all of his pawns in this game. Queen takes e5, trades the queens off. There's not even an attack. Fabiano Caruana is about to win his third straight game. And for full disclosure, Anish Giri was messaging me about this match. Oh, the higher seed in trouble. Well, Fabiano didn't get to read that message, but right now he's saying, oh, what trouble is that?
And I'm always so impressed when players are able to make these drastic adjustments mid-match. And it's just so clear that Fabi did some self-coaching in that break between the 5 and 3 minute portions. He told himself something, and now he looks like the Fabiano Caruana we all know and remember. Bang goes the dynamite, a 26-move victory, and the match is tied at 6 apiece.
And we have another French, which, pardon my French, I just don't think it's a very good idea against Fabiano Caruana. And with the break that they had to study the openings, to change their repertoire, we see a different dynamic, right? There were those double C pawns for Fabi in the previous French game. Now he's just throwing his pawns forward, developing, and this is standard fare. I think Wonder Liang played this in the U.S. Championship. He had the black side of this position against Ray Robson, and it was a really interesting battle. But I do think that Fabian has a tremendously successful history in the French.
Yeah, and Fabi just loves these closed positions where there's a lot of pawn play, a lot of maneuvering play. He drops his knight back to h2, not mincing his words. He wants to ram this f-pawn up the board. And I always feel, Robert, that white's play, if you're reasoning objectively, exceeds black's play on the queen side. I never quite understand how black wants to make stuff actually happen on the queen side. Yeah, you can play bishop a4, knight b3, but I feel like white's a lot more solid. And after queen h5, isn't white already better?
I like white's
Or
position.
I guess bishop e8.
Oh, because you have f5 or something. That's very important. So f5 is what black had in store. That's what queen h4 was played. And even though the eval bar seems to like black, it's one of these positions where if you don't make the next 3 moves accurately, white has a very obvious plan. Knight d2 to f3, win the h6 pawn with knight g4, things like that. I mean, knight g4 right now looks very good as well. So you need to be careful for both sides. And okay, rook g6. I like just the defensive posture from Arjun.
I like it a lot. Defending h6, and I think knight f6 is going to be met with bishop to e7, and white might have bitten off more than he can chew on the king side. I think the queen is just not enough of a piece to protect everything and manage the kingside attack, but we will see. I guess technically it is a kingside attack, even though white's the only king that's sitting there.
Well, I like bishop g4 to h5 at some moment. Here, black can go knight b3 takes c1, and it's sort of a long-term situation where black's position is better. You see the evaluation bar. We're not going to argue with it, but it's not clear how to proceed even after the knight take that bishop on c1. If you don't take the bishop on c1, the white's next moves will be bishop f4, rook moves, bishop g4 to h5, things like that.
But the problem is that without the dark squared bishop, it is now virtually impossible for white to make any progress on his side of the board. I mean, that bishop is an integral part of white's attack. It pressures h6. It allows white to access the weak squares on black's king side. Now, I think Arjun, his hands are free. He can go bishop b3 and knight a4. And if the b2 pawn falls, then white's position collapses like a house of cards.
Oh, this is not looking good right now. So Arjun playing great defense. And now bishop f6, ef6, rook f6. That's 2 pawns advantage. But watch out for knight e5. You often want to vacate that square. It is a thematic idea. And f4, f5 is available for white. The rook on f6 is kind of trapped, Danya. So queen h4, if you're not paying attention, could even win that rook in some positions. This is a dicey situation. And I do like how Arjun has played this far, but here is a critical moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure he should have grabbed that pawn. He's got to react accurately, and he moves his queen into e7, continuing to adopt that defensive posture, but queen h4 pins the rook. Okay, rook e8 defends the queen. That rook is still gasping for breath, though.
And I think f4 makes perfect sense here, and Fabi plays it.
Played it.
And f5 is a pretty substantial threat, I feel.
If I didn't know what the bar said, I would have suggested that white is probably better here.
Well, he plays f5, and what's actually the move here? Because knight takes e5, simply d takes e5, and your rook is trapped.
Oh, the rook is fully trapped. You're going to have to give up an exchange and allow the queen trade.
You know what I forgot about? There's a bishop on a4. What? I thought that d7 was just going to be lost. But like, you can actually take on f5 because the bishop on a4 covers that knight on d7.
It's totally irrelevant. But maybe not totally irrelevant. It's like Ben Simmons. All it really does is defend.
Okay, you and I have been texting about Ben Simmons. He's doing a lot better right now. Give the guy a little bit of a break.
All right.
King d8.
Whoa, that walks the king right into the crossfire, doesn't it?
Oh, this looks
Arjun's
very scary.
Arjun's not himself right now.
No, he is not. I mean, this king is just in danger. The rook is still trapped. Knight, what? D5?
He's going to give up the exchange. Is he going to throw in a check on c5? No, he's just going to give up the rook.
So bishop f5 here and just take.
Ugh. Just total collapse here for Arjun. But amazing play by Fabi. F4 and F5. Playing patiently when he has to be patient. Decisively when he has to be decisive. Can he convert this into the full point?
And even that move right there, king f2, that's like ultra precision. Because if you went rook h5, there's rook g8 to g6, things like that. So king f2 first. If rook g8, there's rook g1. Let's trade off those rooks. So great play, even in a winning position. They often say, right, the hardest positions to win are one positions. But Fabi's going to go king e3. He's going to go rook g1. He's going to go king d4. He's going to protect everything and then just make progress.
Yeah, I mean, this is so hard to defend in the long run. You might survive for 10, 15 moves here, but eventually white's going to find some way to break through. I think the rook's landing on g5, the king's moving into d4, and something's going to give here. Something's got to give.
Rook g5 looks great. Just protect e5 and attack h5. Bring that king right into d4. Rook d6 is available as well. No, something is really wrong for Arjun, and it was the first time he was so demonstrative. And his play is super shaky right now.
I think, all started with that English game. That was the game when his play style started to change. He got crushed. He wins the next game, but his play has not improved since then. Rook e6, obviously. Well, actually, maybe it's not obvious. No, I was going to say don't take on e6, but he does. But b6.
Okay, king.
Now king c5. Gosh, this is really sloppy.
And just how do you win this position? So I didn't like.
No, but now you move the rook away.
But I didn't like rook takes e6 to begin with. I felt like he could have just went king d4 directly, and black could have.
Yeah. What was the point of taking? And in fact, you heard what I started to say, Robert. I was like, obviously you don't take on e6 here. Yeah. And precisely at that moment, he took the rook. But can you blame me for thinking that move is unlikely?
No, it was unlikely, and it actually might allow a draw here. Bishop f5 to g6. Like the bishop can just close down the open files from that rook.
Now, wait a second. Maybe there's an idea of sacking on f5 because white will be a pawn down there, but it'll be just a doubled h pawn. I think white should maybe play a4 to prevent b5 and then rook f1.
But at b5, there's maybe king d4 back at some moment. There could be a Zugzwang.
That's true. And he's played a4.
a4.
Back to d4.
Yeah, he's going to go king d4. There's going to be a Zugzwang.
Yeah, he's going to win.
King c6, rook f1.
Bishop f5.
And then you just
there's the Zugzwang.
Yeah, there's a Zugzwang. Exactly.
Wow.
Take that thing and then, this is.
And then what?
He's thinking. He only has 14 seconds. He leaves it. Wow, you don't even have to take it. Bishop f5.
Rook b2.
Oh, new open file. That's huge.
But still, Arjun holding on bishop f5, but you cannot take on a5.
Oh, this is now very easy.
Yeah. Just take everything. Oh,
wow. Fabiano Caruana has won 4 straight games. He could hardly believe it himself. And Arjun Erigaisi, he is the white pieces. It's a Petrov. Okay. Fabiano Caruana, in his tried and true opening, his bread and butter, the opening he used for many years against Magnus Carlsen and others. And now we see that we have a calm position once again. But what do you think, Donnie? Does Arjun just want to make a draw here to stop the losing streak?
He needs that break. He needs that halftime break. There is a break after 30 minutes of the 3-minute portion. He needs it. He needs a deep breath. Arjun never loses 4 in a row. He never tilts like this. And all credit, of course, to Fabi, who is playing amazing. But look at what Fabi's doing. He's playing as solid as he possibly can. That is exactly what you want to do when you're playing a tilted opponent, because they're going to make the mistakes. You don't actually need to do all that much if you're in Fabi's shoes right now.
And the best thing that top players do is, even when it looks like a draw, we see Magnus Carlsen do this for so many years, they still keep a little something there to play for more. And I think knight d5 here for Fabiano. There's a knight landing on f4. Next move. This is starting to look really good for black.
The way he's positioned his bishops is so impressive. Instead, he plays a tamer move. He plays h6. No, knight d5 was begging to be played.
I think he's happy with the score right now. And he's like, I have the black pieces. Let's just take it easy, make a draw. The classical approach. But I think he missed a chance there.
But actually, I think white still might be a little bit worse. That bishop on h2 is totally out of commission. Normally in the Petrov, the pawn is on d5. Here it's on d6. Okay, now it's on d5.
Whoa, hated that move.
Yeah,
I did not like
the
d5.
bishop.
I did not like the trade and opening that bishop. That seemed completely unnecessary here.
And now queen g3. I guess the a4 pawn is also hanging.
So is he just going to play c6 and then go rook e8 and rook c8? He wants c5. Not c6. He wants c5. And queen a4. You can't take on d5 as queen d1 check. But maybe after queen a4, there's bishop g7.
And then maybe an intermezzo check on d1.
Very good.
I think Fabi just wants a draw here.
And is he getting it? That's the big question. So don't take on e2 because a6 is hanging, and then you go down a pawn.
He missed.
He missed it, but he still has king g7 because rook e8, queen takes d5. There's queen e1 check takes f2. So he has everything under control.
Yep, and that's precisely what's going to happen.
But g5 is hanging as well. So maybe I was wrong about the control.
As is b2, as is c7. So white's going to emerge a pawn up.
Right.
Oh, this is a big missed up. I mean, if Fabi had gone knight d5 there, I don't think he would have lost the game. Now, he's suddenly on the cusp of losing. That passed d pawn is just going to rumble up the board. Can black garner some sort of perpetual check? Maybe a g4 at a timely moment? I don't know.
And this is exactly what Arjun needed, because even if he doesn't win this game, he feels like he can be the...
I'm super excited
Yeah,
and
me
also
too.
very nervous. Very nervous.
Yeah, same here. Me too. Very excited and very nervous. We can see our players coming, and it is going to be a great match. We see Nihal, we see SL and Vaibhav are talking to each other, and they're sharing a moment. They're discussing the games. They're probably discussing planning. They're sharing a laugh.
Yeah, you need to have a light moment too in there. Yeah, just
Yeah,
can't
because
just have
Blitz,
all
yeah,
work, no play makes a boy very dull.
yeah, and Blitz are so much fun and exciting. Also, it's just 3+2,
Mhm.
and it's like it's going to be absolutely fun and very thrilling.
Surely very thrilling. And we see team events, but we don't
Yeah.
see blitz tiebreaks in team events. Like even in Olympiad, we
Mm.
don't have blitz tiebreaks. So here the dynamic is completely different. Like just imagine Padmini, you're
Mm.
playing blitz, and suddenly on your side, your opponent, your teammate or your teammate's opponent just blundered something, and you can
Yeah.
notice that. Yeah, like how would you react in that situation? Like you can see like something can happen there, but you have to keep your calm and just focus on your own game.
Yeah, I think 3+2, although won't give a lot of time for us to see what's going on the next board. Maybe from our corner of our eye, we can just have a glimpse, and whatever it is, and we just have to focus, like you said. So
Yeah, यो पर क्या मतलब इमोशन इतने ऊपर नीचे हो मतलब होते हैं वो मोमेंट में लाइक इंडिविजुअली लाइक इवन इफ यू प्ले ब्लिट्स टूर्नामेंट I think your heartbeat goes to like 160 easily many times 150 160 जितना एड्रेनलिन रश हो जाता है कि क्या बताए अभी
and we can see we are having a tiny glimpse of Nihal and all on the side of the camera. I think our team looks in a good mood, and they're doing having a pace walk, Nihal and SL.
That's a great thing to see.
Yes.
Nihal and SL, by the way, both of them are from Kerala, so they are quite they are quite close to each other because both of them are Malayali.
Yeah, that's true. They can be also, I think one advantage with our Indian players is they can talk in their local languages, and they other teams can't understand. Yeah. Because
yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah, I
Like
think it's going to be.
Yeah, no, but the what's funny is the way both of them talk here, it's very unique. Like
Mhm.
SL has this very dry way of talking. He'll be like, what are you doing? What are you saying? He'll talk like this, yeah, like he'll have no emotion on his face. And Nihal, he'll do something with his hands, yeah, while he's talking, especially if he's like excited or if he wants to make a point, yeah. He'll do something very weird with his hands to prove the point. Like,
Yeah.
what if you
He's
play
more
like this here? What if you do this here? Something like this, he'll say. It's really funny.
Yeah. And we are seeing Vaibhav also in the scene. He is, I think, trying to keep the players very, calm and not take too much stress. And we see the French players coming. Fressinet, I can see. The French players are here.
Wow.
I can see Gopa Kumar also. He's an international arbiter from India. He's there. Earlier we discussed he's there as part of the Fair Play Commission. So I think he'll be checking all the players.
So, Padmini, you're about to play a very important blitz match, and it's not only you, your entire team depends on you, yeah? And it's a blitz match, so generally during classical you have time to gather your emotions and get everything under control. Even in rapid, you have just enough time to do that. But it's blitz, you don't have any time. Just emotions, just nerves, and like how do you play at a very good level in such a situation?
I think blitz, we just have to focus on that moment. Like, okay, this we have to do all the time, but in the most use of it. And so that is like complete focus and absolutely, keeping your all your thoughts over the board. You have no time or energy or anything to think about other things. So these games are, I think, like absolute concentration.
True. And by the way, Padmini, we have the pairings out, and actually everything, all the boards are same for India. For France also, the first 3 boards are same. On the 4th board, they have made a change. Instead of Tigran Gharamian, who played against Sasikiran, they have Maxime Lagarde, who is playing in his place. And so Maxime Lagarde is also very tricky, very inventive, very creative sort of a player. So maybe they wanted to have a tricky, a player of his style to play in the blitz portion. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see how Sashi plays against him.
Yeah, it will be a very interesting match. And on first board, it's the same Vidit versus MVL, then Nihal versus Yules Mozart, S L Narayanan versus Fressinet Laurent, and Sasikiran versus Maxime Lagarde.
Yeah. And I played against Maxime Lagarde in Biel this year in Switzerland in a tournament, and it was a rapid game. I always felt I was better, and then suddenly it tricked me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was very mad at what happened then. But he's a great guy, and he's a great guy to talk to later, so it was fine. But he's certainly not someone to be underestimated. His rating is 2573, but still.
And we see that the players have already sat on the board and they are very focused. They're adjusting their juices, water, and they're getting very ready because they can't get up from the board at all. Although in the rapid former also they were almost not getting up from the board, but here it will be very crucial. We have the arbiters, the players on the board. The players are getting their sleeves up, getting ready for the game. We saw that SL kept his jacket behind, and we have a view of MVL and Yules from the French team side. And we can, on another screen, I can see Sasikiran. Everyone looks very focused, and the games are going to start soon. Anshika Catalan Mani says, "Don't scare us more, Abhimanyu." Yeah, and the games have started.
Okay, let's go. So let's see Vidit's game first.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a QGA, I guess. So NF3 C5 just quickly. Looking at the opening, E3, E6, very solid setup by MVL here against this. And this is all theory, guys. And I'm sure the players have seen this opening numerous times before. So here, probably at some point, Black will take C into D4, E into D4, and it will result in an isolated queen's pawns position. So what's interesting to see is if MVL will go immediately for it, or he'll delay it, playing move like B5 or bishop E7 first.
Yeah. So we are seeing some sort of isolated queen pawns coming again, and it will be very interesting, like what happens in this game.
Yeah, but MVL has already taken almost a minute for this move, B6, 8 move B6, and this is surprising in blitz. So probably he was trying to think about the sort of position he wants, or the sort of position is most comfortable in. So he doesn't opt for the IQB sort of position. He instead opts for this solid structure, symmetrical solid structure. So
let's quickly look at other games and how the openings have developed there.
Okay, let's see Nihal's game. So Nihal's game is actually a dragon or drag dwarf sort of an opening. Yeah. Actually, it started as perk. So Nihal now, I think Nihal is very well prepared when it comes to this perk modern setups, and so he opted for it. And let's just quickly glance over, and he got this C5 rake, which is very important in these structures. And yeah, so he has this beautiful G7 bishop looking here. And I want to get my knight, yeah, exactly, to A4. And that's what Nihal is going for. He wants to go after this B2 pawn. The bishop on G7 will be attacking. The knight will come to A4 and will pressure this pawn. Yeah, I'm actually practically liking this position for Nihal.
Yeah,
But
me too.
although
I,
it's in
I also
broken
like.
place.
I also like for Nihal. Like black, it's easier when the side who has more chances of putting threads, because those are the moves easier and it saves time also. And we can also see on the clock that Yules Mossad has 1 minute and 20 seconds to Nihal's 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So he is down more than a minute. And in a blitz, it's going to make a big difference.
A good tip, like what Nihal does very well is he gives so many threats in blitz games, yeah. And in blitz, I think it's very important to just keep pestering your opponent, make him
Yeah.
think always, make him or her think always. So Nihal does this extremely well, and so he's already asking White some questions, and again he's threatening knight b3, forking both the queen and rook.
Yeah, he's putting one question after the other, and White has to find the defending moves.
Exactly, and yeah, now I guess Nihal is having a little thing. Already he has a 1 minute advantage, which is great. Do you want to quickly look at SL's game?
Yeah, let's quickly look over at all the games, because before we know that games can also get over and we have to be very fast.
Yeah, so
Blitz,
okay, I'll just skip opening because it doesn't matter, it's
yeah,
blitz.
yeah.
So SL, the position, the structure is symmetrical, but I think SL is slightly better since he has a more active king, and king position is very important in endgames, I feel.
And also the
So
E2 bishop is better because White can attack the D5 pawn.
exactly. That is also a great point, and also White can look to expand at some point on the king side with moves like H4. So
Yeah.
certainly, yeah, it is probably not that much, but it's blitz and it's always difficult to defend in blitz. So it's good that SL has a slight advantage of sorts. Okay, let's just look at Sashi's game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Sasikiran also has a little advantage on time.
Yep. So, yeah, and actually, I quite like his position as well. Although White has the two bishops, Sashi has this beautiful center. Right now, is threatening d4 immediately, winning this
It's
piece.
an annoying pin.
Exactly. And you have to play an uncomfortable move, maybe like queen d1 or d4 himself. Although d4 now, always White has to look out for knight e4 ideas. Sashi plays rook c8 first, just troubling the white knight. Rook c1.
Yeah, and this is Abhi, this is going to be a very important match. If either side wins, they go through to the semi-final, and only in case of a tie 2-2, they'll be playing again with reverse colors.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Padmini, I'm going all over the place. Just tell me which game. Which game.
Yeah, let's quickly go over each and every game. Let's go over Vidit's game first.
Okay, Vidit. So Vidit versus MBL. Okay, I really like Vidit's position. You see, this pawns. Oh, he's threatening queen c2, threatening checkmate on MVL. So
and 23 seconds to 45 seconds. So this is
oh my god,
that Vidit actually has an advantage. Because MVL, being a blitz world champion, he wouldn't take so much time in the opening.
That's very true. I guess he's looking at queen c2, threatening checkmate. Black wants to counter it with knight f5, I guess, but
yeah,
you have ideas like knight d4. Yeah, still pestering the.
But I think rook c8, he will be threatening. So maybe queen c2, we have to wait before we go.
Maybe knight d4 immediately. So okay, anyways, he played bishop d4 instead. A great move.
Yeah, really bishop c5. I think White might even take on e7, because that knight is coming to f5 to block the diagonal. And both the players are playing on seconds.
By the way, Nihal's game, let's just, go over.
Yeah,
Look at Nihal. He has ripped open the queen side. Okay, he has sacrificed a piece for it, but this looks very, very difficult. This looks lost, actually. for
Yeah,
White
Nihal
practically.
has absolutely crushed White, and this is going to be probably our first win.
It certainly seems that Nihal is on the way to win this game. You know, Nihal, we are waiting for Nihal to turn up and in this event, and he's probably turning up in the most crucial situation possible. Yeah, he was just
Yeah.
waiting for the moment. He was like, okay, I'll wait till then, but now it's my time to shine. So, okay, he wants to take
Yeah.
the G2 pawn, perhaps. Yeah, after
Yeah, I
F4.
think this is the interesting game now, and both players are playing on second. I don't know where the 3 minutes passes so fast in blitz games, because
I know, right?
the games are supposed to go 6 minutes long, but these games are just both the players are playing in seconds. Let's go over to Vidit's game, because we have them on the camera, and let's see how is
Oh
the
my
position.
God. So with it, look at the structure, Padmini. So White
Yeah.
has three. White is a pawn up, but he has tripled pawns. So I guess this should be a draw, theoretical draw. It's very difficult for White to make progress. As soon as his king leaves this G3 square, F4 pawn will be hanging, and they are continuing the game. I guess this is going to be a draw, Padmini. It is
Yeah.
a draw actually, and the first game has drawn. So let's go over to Nihal's game. Nihal has four pawns for a piece, and he doesn't care about the 4 points. He's playing H4,
Yeah, I think-
H3, and it's difficult to
Yeah.
meet it actually.
I think one of the pawns is going to queen.
Yeah.
And I think Sasikiran is also winning.
Oh my.
No. I think I
Oh, actually,
saw it wrong.
Sashi just lost the
It's
game. Oh my
black.
God.
Oh. So let's go over to Nihal's game, and that is the one which the pawn is going to queen.
Oh my God. E5, Nihal is going for it. Okay, what is... Actually,
Yeah,
SL
let's
is
go to
completely winning his game. SL is crushing
Yeah.
it. And
So we are ahead in the match. We are at least looking for a 2.5 score, and this endgame is absolutely winning. King pawn ending. We can be 100% sure SL will win.
So it's all up to Nihal now, because this is
Yeah,
completely winning, and I
yeah,
think we'll see the result any moment now.
Yeah,
And
let's
oh
go
my
over
God,
to
this
Nihal's
is
game. Yeah, this is the most crazy game. Will the pawn queen? What does the chat think? I think the pawn Nihal will find a way to make progress.
it's not going to be easy to queen the pawn, but Nihal is going to trouble this white king, and it's not going to be easy to defend this as white. But as we have seen, Jules Musad, he has defended this position quite well, and he's still defending pretty well. Although,
and what I like is that E2 knight is not going anywhere. So G5, G4 is something I was looking forward to, and the king is going to be in trouble. White king is also going to be in trouble.
yeah, and Nihal on 2 seconds, 1 second. Oh my God.
Yeah, we have now 1.5 each, and this is the game.
F4, F3. Okay, this should be it.
Yeah.
This should be it, right? Queen G1, Queen G1. And now queen into C1, and he's going to have another queen, and it's going to be completely winning.
Yeah, we are done, guys. We have won, and I think we have qualified to the semis. Jules Musad is still not giving up, because it is a crucial game, and he has to do something. So he won't resign easily, and he will continue playing.
But okay, now he'll play H1 queen and then take the
or queen into G2 and H1 queen. Yeah, this should be over.
And
there is no stalemate. So opponent just trying the last trick.
But okay, why is Nihal thinking here? Or is there lag?
No, I think there must be some lag.
What's going on?
Yeah, I think we don't have any update.
No, maybe his opponent. No, Nihal's opponent played Queen G7 and resigned, Padmini. And so Nihal, oh my God, Nihal has won the game for us, and this is completely insane. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yes, guys, we are into the semi-finals, and tomorrow we will be playing Uzbekistan.
Yes, we'll be playing Uzbekistan, but Padmini.
Yeah.
I'm lost for words here.
Yeah, congratulations.
What just happened? What just happened?
GG Team India. Like whatever they say on chat, I am new to this commentary team, and I'm new to YouTube, so do write all the good stuff you do for
India OP हो जाए, हमारे प्लेयर्स के लिए India OP हो जाए. क्या लड़े यार, मतलब मजा आ गया. मजा आ गया यार.
Yeah, this was amazing, and I don't know where the 6 minutes or 10 minutes went by so fast. How does it go so fast? It's wonderful. We can see on the camera our players are hugging each other, patting each other on the back. It is such a beautiful sight. We have all our players in the tournament hall. We see Sethuraman and Abhijeet Gupta also there in the hall. All our players are together, supporting, being there for the moral. And it is, I feel absolutely fantastic and seeing them all together. And I can just feel them because we know the players also personally, and we can see all the emotions out there also.
Yes, and just for a sportsman, it's moments like this. Yeah, for any
Yeah.
sportsman, like
Yeah.
you're playing for your country and you somehow turn up at the right time and strike at the right time. So
Yeah, this
this,
is so crucial. And after winning the first game and in the second game, when we started out the second match, we had good position in all the boards, but it didn't turn out well for us.
yeah,
And like you had said, the momentum was with France, but our team did really well and they came back with wins. We have the beautiful sight from the tournament hall also, the France team discussing what went wrong or where they could have, done better. They're an extremely strong team with MVL, the Blitz World Champion. So,
absolutely.
yeah, it's very nerve. Takes a lot of nerves, this kind of games.
Truly does. And shout out to you guys because you have always been supporting the team India. And yeah, those guys really felt all your love today. So, and we'll need all your love tomorrow as well as we take on the mighty Uzbeks. And they have been performing very well, but certainly we are looking to strike back. So, guys, do join in tomorrow for semi-final against the Uzbekistan team, and we'll try to have a lot of fun, and as well we'll cheer our team India because this is it. This is the time where where the magic happens. So
Yeah, and it'll be a very important match because the winner from the Uzbekistan team, Uzbekistan versus India team, will go into the finals, and it'll be decided tomorrow only. Like the quarterfinals were decided today. So stay tuned and do join us.
yeah, but before you go, we have another guy, Arjun Erigas. Is taking on Fabiano Caruana. They are playing in Speed Chess Championship, and he was performing extremely well. Fabi has caught up. Fabi, when I last checked, had caught up to him a bit, but still, we need to support our boy Arjun. So do join in and do see watch the stream which Soumya and Srinath are hosting. So do stay tuned and see you tomorrow.
Yeah, stay tuned. See you tomorrow.
Like,
And-
share, and subscribe because we care.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Good night. So, speeches now. I'm going to watch. What about you?
Yeah, I'm surely going to watch.
Yeah, I'll be hoping that Arjun wins the, match against Fabi, and it'll be also amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the plan for now. And yeah, I think it's,
खाना खाना है और stream देखनी है.
yeah. Okay. See you. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Abhi.
Okay.
Yeah. See you.
Bye.
Bye.